So recently I've been thinking about getting into the Amex ecosystem, and for those that have been following this channel, you would know that I am really against having high annual fee cards, but that is going to be justified throughout the entire video to really elaborate why I'm thinking about getting the Amex Gold and the Amex Platinum. Now, if you're new to the channel, my name's Andy. I'm a senior programmer analyst that loves talking about personal finances. Here in this channel, we like to talk about credit cards, budgeting, and financial tools that can possibly help you guys out. But enough of that, let's go get started with the video. So why am I considering the Amex cards? The reason being because I only got two options here, which is either go into the Citi ecosystem or get into the Amex ecosystem. So I know a lot of people are going to be pushing me to go into the Citi because they just now partnered up with American Airlines to be a direct transfer partner, which is an awesome thing to have. But when I try to do the pre-approval process on their website, turns out I'm not pre-approved for any of their cards. So I did some research. It turns out Citi is hard inquiry sensitive. So for the past year, I've been getting a lot more cards this year. So that's including my Chase cards and my Capital One. So the only option I have left is going to be the Amex ecosystem. So it is the next day recording. I did forget to mention that me and my wife are planning to book a trip to Rome next year, which is the additional reason why I want to get into the Amex ecosystem. So that way I can use those points and combine them with my Chase and Capital One, which overall will make my trip to Rome a lot cheaper. So I did want to make that a keynote here to make sure you guys understand why I'm doing this. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to the original video, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest. Now, I know that both cards, they do have high annual fees, with the Amex Gold card coming in at $325, and then now you have the new revamped version of the Amex Platinum coming in at $895. Now, before I did justify the reason why I'm considering them, I did pull some bank statements for the past 2-3 months just to make sure what I naturally spend can outweigh those annual fees, because each one of these cards provides credits. So within the Amex Gold card, I know they have 2 dining credits. So one of them is going to be Resi, and then the other one's going to be the 120 dining credit. Now, there are some guidelines, because I know with a dining credit, it's going to be with only specific restaurants. And the 2 main ones that I would be using is going to be the Cheesecake Factory and also the Five Guys. Now, as far as the Resi, I did make sure that we do have restaurants here in the Houston area to make sure that I can use those credits. But within that specific credit, it is divided into semi-credits. So the first 6 months, you're going to be getting 50, and the second 6 months, you're going to be getting another 50, which is a grand total of $100. So if you add those two together, it's already going to be a total of $220 worth of credits. Now, I did look at how much we are spending, me and my wife, on a month-to-month basis when we go out on date nights, and it's roughly ranging between $300 to $400. So the way I'm thinking about it, instead of going to our regular restaurants that we go to, it would be nice to actually try out different restaurants within the Resi credit and get out our comfort zone and go out and try new things with this card. So that is the positive way I'm looking at this card. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to see all the positive. There are some negatives, because you are going to be pushed to go into these specific restaurants in order to use these Resi credits. Now, as far as the $120 dining credit, we usually do go to Cheesecake Factory and Five Guys. So that credit was already justified. Now, the credits I was really concerned about were the Uber credits, which is coming in at $120 a year. So me personally, I don't do any Uber Eats. I don't do Uber rides. So I thought I was going to lose money on that specific credit. But it turns out my wife at work sometimes does Uber Eats because she doesn't always have the time to go out and get lunch. I told her she can go ahead and use this card so we can save us money, because I am going to be adding her as a authorized user. Which now leads into the Dunkin' credit. With the Dunkin' credit, you'll be getting a total of $84 for the entire year, which is divided into monthly credits, which is a total of only $7. Now, that's going to be only worth 1 coffee per month. And for me, I don't drink any coffee. I'm more of an energy drink kind of guy. So again, I asked my wife, does she actually go to Dunkin'? Does she enjoy the coffee? Just to see if she'll be using that credit. It turns out she said yes, she actually likes drinking coffee from Dunkin'. And aside the fact like she likes to go to Starbucks, Seven Brews, and Dutch Bros. So this will be a free coffee for her when she knows she has that credit. So overall, if you add all those credits, it's going to be a total of $424. So that's already outweighing the annual fee that the Amex card is providing. Now, not everyone can benefit from all these credits, because there are some places that don't have a lot of Resi credits, or you're just not a fan of Dunkin', or you just, like me, don't use any of the Uber. So if you have a partner that may be benefiting from it, then yeah, that is a plus. So after really breaking down the finances on this specific card, it turns out for me, it will be benefiting me, but it is going to be overlapping with one of my other cards that I use on a day-to-day, which is going to be the Capital One Saver, which is 3x on dining and 3x on groceries. Now with the Amex Gold card, we're going to be getting 4x on groceries and 4x on dining. So you can see it's kind of going to be removing that card out of my regular credit card setup. But if I'm actually getting my money's worth on this card after breaking down the numbers, then yes, this card will now be my dedicated card for groceries and dining. Now the Amex Platinum, on the other hand, is a whole different card. So it has a lot of credits, a lot of benefits, but I am going to be going over only the credits that I will be personally using. So start off, we're going to state that I am going to be using the $200 Uber Cash credit because, like I stated before with the Amex Gold card, I am going to be letting my wife use it because she uses it a lot more than me. Now, there is another credit called on here, the Uber One credit. It's a value of $120. I don't know a lot about it, but if it's going to be saving me on like fees and charges and things like that, I will be consider that to be a deduction from the annual fee as well. You're also going to be getting a $300 digital entertainment credit and also a $400 Resi credit. Now, these two credits alone is going to be giving me $700 worth. So already, like, I'm going to be putting YouTube Premium on here because I'm going to get my full value of $300 back. And then within the Resi credit on this one, it's just an additional for me to add onto the Amex Gold card. So if you put the Amex Gold and the Amex Platinum, you're going to get a total of $500. Now, the thing that's different about the Amex Platinum with this credit is that it's going to be giving $100 per quarter. So that's going to be benefiting me too. I've been able to take my wife out a little bit more with that specific credit, and it's going to be reducing already that cost that I'm already applying within the $300 to $400 I spend per month on going out. So those two credits are going to be valid in my case. Now, they do have a shopping and wellness section, which is going to be the Lululemon credit, Walmart Plus credit, Saks credit. I'm not going to be including the Oura Ring or the Equinox because those are just two things I won't be considering on my day-to-day spend. But the Saks one is going to be really easy to use because I do buy cologne. So even if I don't use it, my wife can use it for like makeup or perfume for herself. We're also going to be using the Lululemon credit because my wife does wear gym athletic wear. So this is just going to be a benefit for her as well too. Now, as far as the 155 Walmart Plus credit, I didn't even know Walmart had a subscription. So after doing some research, it turns out you can actually get Paramount Plus with it when you automatically sign up. There are some other benefits, so I will link it here on the video just in case you want to look more in depth of what you can get out of it. But I am going to be including that as a deduction of the annual fee as well. And then one credit is going to stick out is going to be that you actually get a $600 hotel credit. So you're going to get up to $300 back in statement current semi-annually on prepaid fine hotels and resorts and the hotel collection bookings through Amex Travel. So already valuing all that, that's going to be way over the actual annual fee of $895. So if you add all the credits, and I'm not going to include the hotel, let's just say I don't use a hotel for that specific year. Let me go ahead and add up all the numbers that it will be if I were to just to use the credits on my day-to-day spend. So adding the $200 from Uber Cash, $120 from Uber One credit, adding the $400 Resi, $300 digital, $300 Lululemon, $155 from Walmart Plus, and $100 from Saks, we're going to get a grand total of $1,575. So that's already going way over the annual fee of $895 if I was going to use it as a regular day-to-day spend card, which, you know, I strategize and explain to you that I use my bank statements and just transition to where I'm spending my money at in specific restaurants. So after going over both cards and why I'm possibly considering them, I think it's a win-win for me because obviously I can get the high sign-on bonuses that Amex is currently having. I have a lot of points with Capital One and also have a lot of points with Chase. Now with Amex, let's say if I pay for it this one specific year and I don't like the cards, I can actually just go ahead and cancel them or get a retention offer because I hear that they do that quite frequently. But it's going to make the trip or the cost of the trip to Rome a lot cheaper. So that's just the way I think about it. Let me know in the comments to see if you think otherwise. But I'm going to go ahead and leave this video at that. And as always, I try to keep things simple. And I'll see you on the next one.